Good morning, guys. It's back to Monday, full circle once again. Lots on. I head away on holiday next week, so this is kind of tidy up week, get things, in place for when I'm away. This morning, I am headed out to Dollar. I'm heading out to see an install that was a supply-only job. So we just supplied the product for it. However, the installer and the client are having a couple of issues with working out the size of the aluminium sills. So I'm going to go and see that, help them out with that. It should be a fairly quick thing. And then I'm potentially heading to Edinburgh to go and see the Collington project. It has not been the easiest of projects, to say the least. If I'm not heading out there today, I will head out there tomorrow. Either way, it kind of means I can gain more time in the office today than I thought I was going to get, which isn't a bad thing either, because it means I can jump ahead of the game. What a day that has been. Site visit in Edinburgh didn't happen. The guys were held up on another job, so I came back to the office and have literally been hammering my way through a 3-page to-do list, and we're now 7:15 at night and not yet done. Admin is not my strong point. In fact, I hate it, but it's a fundamental part of what we do as a business, and someone has to do it. So unfortunately, out of the two of us, myself and Steph, I take on the kind of operations and admin side of things to make sure it gets done, and Steph deals with the BDM and the sales side of things. Steph went out to see the cowshed, and we had the painters in, and the transformation is night and day. It looks superb. The steel started to get painted and the walls painted, and the vision is starting to come together. So he sent me some pictures through earlier of that, and it looks phenomenal. Tomorrow I am heading out to Edinburgh to do the visit that I was meant to do today, and then we're coming back here and we've kind of got a day to do some brainstorming and look at the operation side of things. It's not all site visits, grand homes, big technical installs. Some days it is literally just chained to the computer, dealing with emails and all the other fun logistical stuff that comes in with importing product from Austria and Europe and wherever else it comes from. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Tuesday, and we're back on the road once again. Currently heading through to Collington, to the Grant Avenue project. Obviously couldn't get out here yesterday. The main reason being was the install team, the job that they were on the day before, ran over. This job's taken an extra couple of days to complete that wasn't originally booked in. It's been a tough job, this. It's not been without its issues due to the site. These plots that are in the middle of Edinburgh, they don't come with acres and acres of land where you can move heavy equipment round about like Manitous and forklifts and telehandlers. When you're installing a glass unit that is the best part of 500 kilos per panel, and there's 4 of them, it takes heavy equipment to move it. You're not manhandling something like that. And on this site, there's just no space for that type of equipment to move round about. We should get this closed out today, and on to the next one. I've just completed my site walk round. Relieved, to say the least. All of the big frames are in, everything fits, job's looking well. we'll get it closed off by today. The guys have managed to pull the rabbit out the hat and make the job work, so we'll take you around the site and have a wee look at monstrous windows that are now in place. So you remember the scenario that we had at the start, that's the loading bay that we used to bring the windows in, and obviously the crane that's done the lion's share of the work. So you'll see what I mean about how tight this site was in terms of the machinery to move things around about. When we come in, through the main loading bay, big slider is now in. We are just waiting on the 2 sliding sashes being put in place. They're still sitting on the pallet outside just now. This is the last remaining door, and that is going into that opening there. So between these sliding sashes, that door, and this huge pane of glass which is going in this window here, the job is all but complete. Everything fits perfect, really nice tight fit. You see what I mean with the size of some of these windows. If I move in a little closer, big window, eh? It's going to look stunning though when it's all done. This is the kitchen area, so everything, I think there's worktops that sit along this area in front of the window, which looks great. Overall, really happy with the job. Guys have done an excellent fit. Great to see this one done. We'll obviously be back throughout the continuation of this build. We'll go upstairs and have a wee look. The guys are fitting windows just now, so we'll go up and see what they're doing up there. So now on the upper level of the scaffold. So big units are in up the top, so that's where we were originally on the site visit. All really nice tolerances and gaps around this one, which is good news for the kit. Well built. And this is the monster window. And up and below, so you'll see here, absolutely huge window. That's all glass. Get a better idea from the side on. That's well over 4 metres. We'll be back on this site probably over the next 6 months through to completion. We've got our job done, window and watertight, by the end of today. Has been tricky, has been hard, but these jobs are meant to try us, as they say. So yeah, we'll catch up with you soon on this job. For now, it's bye from the Grant Avenue project. Well, to say I'm relieved about that one is an understatement. Doesn't matter how many times you see installs like this when you've been working for and running other companies and divisions and whatever else for big, but when it's your own job and it's your own money and you're dealing with, you know, 80 to £100,000 worth of windows, to say that we weren't nervous about this one was a bit of an understatement. And then with all the logistical issues that we've had on it, it's been in the back of my mind quite a bit. So to see it today in the state that it's in, and the fact that there's not much left to do to get it finished off, the guys will be closed out today, is a huge relief. The house next door to it as well is Internorm too, so that's our product that's in there as well. So to get 2 houses on the same street directly next door to each other is brilliant. I'm over the moon. I feel like a lot of weight's been lifted off my shoulder, because while Steph's dealing with the kind of sales side of things and business development type of stuff, you know, the site logistics and the technical measuring and detail and stuff falls on my shoulders, so I'm kind of carrying that can for me and Steph. So there was a bit of pressure on that one because it was tricky and there was a lot of finite detail in it, a lot of heavy duty coupling that had to be accounted for, and tying in with steel, and a myriad of stuff that you probably don't want for your company's first large supply and fit job. But it's in, it's done, it's home and dry, and we can move on to the next one now, which is down south. That's down in Ambleside, the big Passive House project. Good morning. It is Thursday. Early start this morning, left the house back at 5. We are heading to Ambleside. We're heading there today to do the pre-site visit, discuss the practicalities of the install, see how things are going. Steph's back in the office. He's dealing with a load of new inquiries that we got in yesterday and the day before, as well as some requotes and stuff like that need to be done. We'll see when we get to site. Just had our pre-start meeting, so I come down before the pre-start, so it's a pre-start, to assess how the build's going ahead. If I, look at the job and think, right, okay, yep, we're at the stage where we need windows, we'll go ahead and book the job in. If I think there's a delay, we'll postpone. The last time I came down, everything was looking great, so it was good to go. Install's now been booked. It's going ahead on the 25th. So 2 weeks before that, which is this week, we get our installation team in, so specifically the installation foreman. We get them down to site to make sure that they're happy with stuff, assess the scaffolding, assess the access, have a look at site conditions, any loading areas which they need to be clear of access. Generally a good walk round, speak to the client, answer any questions that they have, that they've got, maybe concerns about the way something's going to be fitted or how we're going to fit it. And then we also decide on the installation technique, so whether we're going to use Compraband, a mixture of Compraband air tightness tape, a mixture of Compraband air tightness tape and expanding foam. On this one we're going full belt and braces. So it'll be all 3 systems with an extra seal on the outside to just make sure it's really, really airtight. But yeah, even from when I was last down, stonework has developed on this. They've now decided that instead of aluminium sills, they're going to go for a nice dressed stone detail. Last time we were here, this stone had just started. They had just started building up the corner. You can see now the stone is pretty much right the way around the ground floor where it's all going. It's only really when you see details like this, all this cut by hand, laid by hand, the detail that you get at the end there where it's really sharp. The care and attention on this one is superb. It makes such a difference when you come to sites like this where they're so focused on the detail, and I'm not surprised, because when you've got this as your backdrop in your view, you want to make sure it looks good. Almost done. Get back on the road. It's probably going to be late afternoon by the time I'm back, but another successful site visit, another job ready to start, and we go again. Friday, Steph. Again. We are heading to Gullen. This is the job that we were out at last week, which we won. So as part of the package and service that we provide, we are heading out to go and do a measured survey. When I went out last week, the job wasn't quite at the stage where we could take physical fixed sizes. And then, for me, it's back to the office. I've got a meeting at 1:30 with one of our clients who needs to order the windows before Christmas, and there's some technical questions I need to run through with the architect, so I've got a Zoom call with the architect and him. I finish up next week. Steph's mega happy about this, but I'm heading to New York in case Steph didn't know. Do you know that, Steph?
Yeah.
I'm going to New York on Wednesday. This is my summer holiday.
And it's overrated.
Yeah, it's overrated. So the kind of pressure's on between now, the weekend, and Monday, Tuesday, that I need to try and cram a week's worth of work into those 4 days. It has been a blur of a week. Again, it's one of those ones where it feels like we haven't done much, but we've actually got quite a bit ticked off the box this week.
We're making progress all the time.
Making progress and moving forward.
That new
all the time.
temporary office was stroke of genius. That has really kind of allowed us to like crack on, you know.
It's got everything we need. We've got a coffee machine now, that was a big day for the company. A bit of a whirlwind this week, but some really nice projects. Grant Avenue getting finished was a huge thing. First job, big weight off our shoulders, like I was saying before. So having that in the bag, down to Ambleside to see the next big project, moving ahead and starting in 2 weeks' time. Going to this one to get this one started in terms of the initial measure and things like that as well. So yeah, all good, all positive. We'll see you when we get to site, and then Steph will take you out to the cowshed later on today.
We're on the project in Gullen, as you can see. Absolutely stunning view overlooking the golf course. What the client's doing here is a kind of general renovation. Cortizo product is going in here by Q-Fort, and so we've got the kind of slimline slider, and then the section that you can see here, this is how it was originally constructed, but they're actually going to take all of this out and they're going to open up this top section so that they've got a kind of glazed gable effect going in and above. So we've got the kind of slimline slider down at this level, we've got the timber lintel above to support the door, make sure that there's no, or to support the structure and make sure there's no pressure on the door. That's all going to kind of glide and move exactly as it's intended. And then above they're going to maximise the view that they've got out there by 2 triangular glazed panels, and on the other side of that, but there's also a mezzanine level, and the mezzanine level is going to have a glazed balcony so that you can look out from the mezzanine level right out over the whole view. Stunning project, great location, and can't wait to see this one finished. So that's the site visit finished. I now made it back to the cowshed, just have a wee look around and assess the progress that's been made. So externally, same as it was before, still need the external side of things to be finished off, and then as we come in, there's a bit of work getting done on the neighbouring building, and then this is where we're at. Most of the walls are painted. Stuart's working away. Getting that bit finished. It's looking absolutely spectacular now that all that painting is almost done. 2 rooms, first fix is underway. This is my office. You can see the progress that's been made. I'll take a quick walk next door. This is Mark's space. A wee bit more, everything's off there just so that it can all get insulated. Into the design space, you can see again all of that painting has been done. So that's where we're at. Again, another big week. Lots and lots of progress made. Painting will be finished this time tomorrow. So that's the painting of the main hall out the way. First fix electrics is underway. First fix drainage is starting next week, so real progress made. Once first fix electrics is in, we can start to sheet both of those, or all of those spaces rather, and that really kind of gets us cracked on a wee bit to the point where all of this space, or all of these spaces, will probably be finished in the next 2 weeks, which means that we can get onto the stuff that's really going to start making a difference, which is fitting out the bathrooms, the kitchens. Once the offices are finished and painted, we can start to get our stuff into those spaces, and then next steps would be start to get things like carpet tiles in, and start to get the displays in, start to fit out the kind of design suite, VR kind of area, all of those spaces, start to make it look like an office once all of the stuff comes in. So another big week of progress. We've obviously got to try and push on, but we are really kind of making good headway at the moment, so we want to try and like stay on top of that and make sure that we keep pushing on. So watch this space, and we'll be back shortly to give you another full update once we kind of get started on next week. Cheers.